Hello everybody, Nate from Performance Part Out. I've got my Haltech datalog software open, and I've got two datalog runs overlaid on top of each other. One being from the FP Black turbo with the 8cm turbine housing, and the other being the new FP Zero 62mm turbo with the 10cm turbine housing. And I've overlaid these graphs, and I've offset the axis so that they line up at the trap speed. So let's check these out. We're setting a boost control target of 40 psi for both runs. That's the target the ECU is trying to hit for boost pressure. We've got slightly more ignition timing on the FP Black run than we do on the FP Zero. So the tune was a little bit more aggressive for the smaller turbo. And our nitro system is set to turn off the top of first gear. You can see here and here the nitro system is kicking off. We're mostly using this basically for spool up to get it up on the converter. So the other thing we've got to control for is air temperature. The day we ran the FP Zero, we had about a 10-degree spread in ambient air temperature. It was like a 75-degree day versus, say, an 86-degree day on the day we tested the Black. And our slope and rise of air temperature is roughly the same, indicating that the intercooler is performing adequately for both turbochargers. So on to boost pressure. We're targeting 40 psi, that's this yellow line. The FP Zero holds as much as 41, 42 pounds of boost going down the track in third gear, where the FP Black tends to drop off to about 38, let's see here, 38, 38, 39, roughly around 39 pounds of boost. So the FP Zero is making around 2 to 3 pounds of boost more than the smaller 59mm Black is. And that's with less duty cycle from the boost control solenoid. And we're using the same solenoid, the same springs, and the same wastegate. Back pressure. So here's our two RPM traces again. The brighter orange line is the exhaust back pressure trace from the FP Zero with the 10cm housing and a more modern turbine wheel. The lighter brown or orange line is the exhaust back pressure trace from the FP Black with the 8cm turbine housing. And the FP Black has a TD06H turbine wheel, an older wheel. So you can see the FP Zero has a exhaust back pressure advantage the whole way down the track, all the way in third gear. There's at no point where the Black is making more exhaust pressure than there is no point at which the Zero is making more exhaust pressure than the Black, while still maintaining more boost all the way down the track. So this results in this graph. This is engine pressure ratio. Engine pressure ratio is basically your intake manifold pressure, boost pressure, divided by exhaust pressure. So you can see the white line is the FP Zero, the yellow line is the Black turbo, and the Zero has an advantage at basically all RPMs. Now this is another confirmation that we're flowing more air. We can see injector duty cycle is in blue. The wideband O2 sensor is the pink and orange traces that line up nicely. And the injector pressure differential is our base fuel pressure, which is basically steady at like 51, 52 psi. So for the same fuel pressure, to get the same air-fuel ratio, we're flowing quite a bit more fuel through the fuel injectors. Upwards of 70% duty cycle for the Black. We hit 72% duty cycle on the Black. We're up in the 80s for the Zero. So we're flowing significantly more fuel. So what do you get when you put more air and more fuel together? More power. This is basically the conclusion of why you would upgrade a turbo. You get a larger pressure ratio or a more efficient turbocharger, and you add more fuel, you get more power. You can see the RPM traces here. I've zoomed this in only in third gear, that the slope of the RPM line is higher with the FP Zero. It's accelerating faster. So the end results on this, the FP Black on our car on this run in the log was a 988 at 137 miles an hour with a 142 60 foot. The Zero with a 141 60 foot, very comparable, went 934 at 146, picked up over a half a second and it picked up almost 10 miles an hour. And it went about a little over 3/10 and 9 miles an hour faster to the 8th mile. We actually made enough power on this run to smoke the 3rd gear clutch in the Autotrans. So we're not done testing this yet. We're nowhere near maxed out. And yeah, looking at this on boost control, we were only running a maximum of 41 pounds of boost. I would imagine the FP Zero is going to make max results for us at roughly 45 to 47 pounds of boost. And stay tuned. We'll get there eventually. We rebuilt the trans, put it back together, and we'll do another one of these once I get a better